Hi everyone, Armored Pants here, and I have another video for you in the Japanese line, the Tier 10, the STB1. And actually this is the last video in this series and completes the entire tech tree line for the Japanese tech line. Now, as always, you'll have a look at the tech spec and blitzhanger.com. Now, this is the top tank, I believe, in a very difficult line. It's the Tier 10, and I also believe it's maybe the best tank in the line. But of course it still has weaknesses and it's weaker than its peers, but these weaknesses are manageable. Now, the gun is excellent. It has 245mm pen on AP, 300mm on Pramo, and 53mm pen on HE. This is important. The muzzle velocity on this thing is amazing. It's 1478 meters per second, but you can max it using supercharge to 1921, and that makes it the best in Blitz. And this is key to this tank because its gun depression, you see here it's 6.48 second reload, and I said it's, by the way, I said it's weaker than its peers because it's 1 second slower than, let's say, the T62A or the Object 140. Now, the gun depression, though, has 10 degrees of gun depression. That's really important. We'll discuss that a little bit later on. It's fast, 53 kilometers per hour and 20 in reverse, which is pretty good. And this is its other major advantage. It has 313 meters view range maxed out, which is the best in Blitz. And this is really important. This and the gun make this tank a formidable opponent. And you'll actually see when we look at the gameplay just how good this gun is. It's similar, very similar to the one of the Type 61. And it's really good gun handling. You can see here that with this view range, the concealment figures on this tank are great. It's small, it's not a big target, it's flat. This squat build means that if you're hull down and you're just tipping the turret over, you're going to get some bounces. Turret's difficult to pen front on, and with that gun depression, you're able to get that turret over the top, and you're going to see this in action on Canyon in one of the games we're going to look at, and you're going to see just how effective this tank can be when you get it into the right position. And this is you're going to see a really good game in Canyon on this tank, where I think it's maybe 4.5k damage or something like that. So really, it shows this tank in how really it can be very effective in the right position. You can see here that the armor profile is good on the turret front on, but the rest, of course, it's weak as you'd expect from medium tank. Therefore, you need to make sure you don't get caught out in the open. But this just reinforces here what we're talking about the turret. You can see that it's very difficult to pen. One thing about the tank is that its power to weight ratio is not great. So therefore, while it's fast, it doesn't accelerate as well as, let's say, an Object 140. So that's what I mean. It does have weaknesses versus its peer. So if you take an Object 140, which I believe is the best medium tank in Tier 10, slightly preferred to the T62A, although there's not much in it, just it's a smaller target and a bit faster, more maneuverable. It has a slower reload. It has less armor, particularly in the front, and it doesn't accelerate as well. It has advantages over it. It has a better gun, has faster muzzle velocity, has better view range. So this is why I say it's not the best tank in its compared to its peers, but its weaknesses are manageable and you can play it well. It doesn't have the manifest weaknesses that the Type 61 has before it. So let's look at some gameplay. This is Mayan Runes and Supremacy. We're going to standard medium tank play here. We are going to go to C. You can see what I mean. The tank, it does accelerate pretty well, but it's not as maneuverable or as agile as some of its peers, particularly the Object 140. But you know, it's much better. It's a significant improvement on the tanks before, and kind of all the pain you will have suffered in getting to the STB1 kind of is worth a little bit when you get to this tank, because it is a fun tank to play. It's worth playing, and it's worth having in your garage. So yeah, so just sell your Type 61 and get your STB1. Now, in terms of tactics, you should play this tank as you would play a standard medium tank. It is medium tank by the numbers. So you can see what I did here was I went and captured a base, and I was spotting up the enemy. Now this is not what you should do. I actually take a massive hit here from the IS-4. I thought it was being clever. I thought he might have moved on. Tried to get a shot in and unknowingly get a bounce and get smashed. So yeah, that wasn't ideal tactics in this tank, I have to admit. But nonetheless, I'm able to turn it around, and after a not so good start, I'm actually able to get a good game in this. There's another mistake coming up here by the way. Well, apart from driving into that rock, I also think that he's AFK, right? You would imagine that he's in the spawn, so I thought he was AFK. No, I get smashed. But I'm committed now. I got 128 millimeters of pain, and I'm going to get another 128 millimeters of pain here. Bam, look at this. I am not having a good day at the office right now. But I got a nice round into him, and now it's game over for him, because this is your classic circle of death when you're in a medium tank. If you're up against a non-turreted TD, just park behind them and it's game over. Simple, effective. There is no escape. You are that antelope in the jaws of the leopard. You are just dead. There's nothing you can do. If he had tracked me in a second shot, that might have been game over for me. But you can see that once you get in and around him, and you can see how maneuverable the tank is. Now I'm resetting camo, because I want these big guns around the corner to lose track of me. Switch up to HE. Now let's have a look at how good this gun is. Look at that nice alpha roll there. I switch back now to my normal rounds because I don't want to bounce, and he was moving around. Now I'm back on, and I'm going to get a massive alpha roll here, clear him out, so you can see this gun is really, really good. This is what I mean. Now, in terms of maneuverability of this tank, there's another brawl coming up here. Watch this. This is how good this tank is. I just squeeze in there. That Panzer was not expecting that at all. He was expecting to come around that corner and just put a big roll into me and clear me off. But instead I was able to use the maneuverability of my tank. It's a small tank as well, so I was able to squeeze through, push past that little corridor. The only part of the map, the only small passage that I could squeeze past, because if I'd gone the other side of him, he would have gotten around into me and game over. But you see, this is the tank is maneuverable, it's fast, and it's agile. And okay, it's not the fastest from a stop-start. We discussed the power-to-weight ratio, but it's a hell of a lot more maneuverable than a Jaeger. So you just saw how good the tank is there. And again, you're going to see how maneuverable it is here. I'm coming up, showing him a bit of leg again. No, back around behind. And he's going to get a massive prison round right now up the butt. And fast reload, drop the adrenaline and clear him off. And there we go. So over 4k damage, 4 kills, and a very good game, showing how maneuverable this tank is. First class mastery badge was a almost 4.4k of damage and 1.43 k of XP, which most times, by the way, would get you a mastery badge, but obviously some very good players must have been playing the STB one that week. But again, showing the agility of the tank, showing how maneuverable it is, and how good the gun is. Now, this game coming up here is Canyon. This is the game I mentioned when we were discussing the tech spec. This is maybe even a better example of playing to the strengths of this tank. Now on this map to me reminds me of Lord of the Rings, because there's one ring to rule them all, and that's B, right? One cap to rule them all. You, if you're in a medium or light tank, need to spot B on this map. Now, you don't always have to do it to win, but let's just say that 90% of the times that you win on this map, it's when your team spots B. Now, this tank is ideal for this. Low profile, very strong turret armor front on, and of course has that gun depression. Couple that with the amazing muzzle velocity of this gun, because that allows you to fire off shots really quickly, and your shell is reaching the target. You see what I mean there? How fast that shell moves. Your shell is reaching your target and smashing it, when the opposition shell is still on its way to you and gives you a chance to bounce a shot or to miss it completely. Now, don't do what the leopard did in this map. Go onto the top of it and just sit there and get smashed. I mean, I really don't know what he was doing there. Maybe inexperienced player, maybe had lag, I'm not sure. This is how to play this here. I'm sure you've seen it before in game and on other videos, right? Now I am dominating this map here. I'm being, not just am I putting in damage, keeping the enemy spotted up, doing a great job for my team. I am also being a pain in the ass for the opposition. I am really annoying them here because I'm keeping them spotted up. I'm presenting them with targets. You know, I'm just showing them a little bit of leg, a little bit of silk stocking, but they ain't getting any joy from me at all, right? And I'm just putting damage into them, and it's really frustrating. And you know, this is what happens when teams get frustrated, right? They come and they make mistakes. I came out very far there, but I knew he just fired, so I knew it should be relatively safe. Going back into my position here to keep them spotted up, and I also want to stop them pushing over. Now, I tried to take him out here. I fluffed that shot, but and actually I lost the IS-7 because I fluffed that shot, so I didn't really do a good job for my team there, but this time I clear him off. Now, the Conqueror here, he is very frustrated with me because he was getting the crap smashed out of him earlier by me and was not a happy camper. So I'm going to put one into him, backing up. Oh, yep, showed him a bit of leg again, and he misses. Clear him off. And now we've got the IS-7. And I'm going to put one into him as I back off. He's no shot on me. And now there's a shot coming up here which completely demonstrates the amazing gun handling of this tank. Watch this shot coming up here. This is an eye of a needle shot. Look at this, right into the top of the turret of that IS-7. Not many tanks can make a shot like that in Blitz, but this tank can. The gun on this thing, that with that muzzle velocity, allows you to do shots like that. The gun really is amazing. And again, same tactic as with the Yagaru in the other game, right in behind him, and it's game over for him. So 3 kills, I think 4.6k damage. But I think really a great demonstration of the strengths of this tank, and showing that when you get into a position like that on a map like this, you can do untold damage to the enemy. And there I was doing everything a medium tank should do. Spotting up the enemy for my teammates, holding a strategic position on the map, not letting them cap it. I wasn't capping it myself, but not letting them cap it. And I'm putting in damage. I'm playing to the strengths of my tank, which is the gun depression, the amazing gun with its muzzle velocity, and the strong turret armor. Playing to those strengths and re-manipulating that game. And I kind of managed that game for my team from start to finish. From the moment I reached B, I managed that game for my team and brought us to win. So a really great example of how to play that tank, playing it to its strengths. Now let's recap. So this is a decent medium tank. It's good, but it's not great. Why? Because its peers are better, I believe, right? But it is much better than the previous tanks in the line. The 105mm gun is just fantastic. You saw the gun handling, that shot in the IS-7. It's just beautiful. The 6.4 second reload is not great because it's a second slower, let's say, than the Russian mediums in the same tier. But the effective DPM is very good because of that gun. And you know, medium tank play by the numbers. If you want a reminder, watch the guide and channel that we have. So really you need to be the CPU of the team, processing the information, controlling the game, spot, scout, cap, move as the game unfolds, or as I did in the first game, or as I did in the second game, not move if you're in a good position. The tank is mobile. You saw that. You saw in the Mayan ruins, I was all over the map. Use the supercharged and refined gun to get that muzzle velocity up, because the pen then is just amazing. And the gun depression and turret armor are very effective. Perfect example in the Canyon game we looked at of just how effective it can be. And this is the best tank in a tough line. It is, let's say, the gold at the end of that rainbow, but instead of being a rainbow of light, it's a rainbow of crap. But nonetheless, there is gold at the end of it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. Cheers much. Thanks for watching. First piece of music was Mozart, the overture from the Barrage of Figaro, and the second piece of music was the Triumphal March from Aida by Verdi, which is an amazing opera. So thank you, and I guess all that remains for me to say is pants off.